Hello everyone, welcome today. I want to talk about the importance of repairing when we have harmed our children. And by harm, I really mean that we've done something to especially emotionally hurt them. Sometimes we accidentally, bump into them, or their body bumped into us and hurt them, or we dropped something and we hurt them. And so repairing is really an essential part of parenting because we're human, right? We're all human beings, and we hurt one another even though we don't mean to, even though we don't set out to. And I think there's an additional layer in parenting where, because we're so stressed so much of the time, because we have so much going on, because we're trying to earn a living, keep our house halfway decent, give our kids opportunities and love and care and all that goes along with that, take care of the lawn and dishes and day-to-day stuff and all of that, that we find ourselves under-resourced. In addition to parenting not being valued in our culture, we find ourselves under-resourced in that in those intense moments, we unintentionally have stuff come out of us that we didn't plan for, that we actually had said, I will never do that, and then we actually do it. And so first of all, I just want to say that you're still a good parent. That doesn't define you. It doesn't define you at all. And so, but this is where I have found the ability to repair is super helpful. So when connection breaks in the relationship, yes, you need to bring connection back. There's lots of great tools to do that. But also there's the piece about just repairing where you, at some point, and you need to figure out when that is. It's not the best time to do it. It's not when your child's can't think, when they can't function well, or they're being hurtful back, for example. You have to figure out if their brain can take in what you have to say is a big piece of that. And I think there's something too for parents that when we have harmed our children, especially our children who are precious to us, who are everything to us, and we've harmed them in some way, that can bring up a lot of stuff for us, a lot of history of times we've been harmed, times that someone has harmed us. And typically, I think when I was a kid, it wasn't common for a parent to repair it. And so I think we really need to think about what's the history that we carry with us around repair and around how things were handled when harm was done. It was quite truthfully quite typical to just shove it under the carpet, right? It's oh, didn't happen. Even though the whole house just blew up, nothing happened. And that is not healthy for kids. It's not healthy for us as adults either. And it's really important. And it's hard. I think it's one of the challenges of parenting is how do we learn how to face ourselves and our own heart when we have harmed this, a child who is dependent on us? That is one of life's, in my view, hardest questions. And it's work. It's real significant work to be able to do that. And so having a practice around, yes, I face when I've done things where I fall short, where I've harmed my child, that I can go to my child and say, I'm really sorry I scared you. I'm really sorry I hurt you, sweetheart. I'm really sorry I yelled at you. And that we can actually then listen to what the child has to say. Or we listen to the tears. It depends on the age of the child. It depends on what happened. It depends on their history and your relationship. But the piece after the repairing too is that we listen to make this a healing process, the repair process healing. We need to listen to what our child has to say after we have expressed that after we've apologized and said, I'm really sorry that I did that. That is not what I really wanted to do, and I'm sorry that you had that experience from me. It doesn't, and so that part can be really hard because our child might have something really not nice to say about us. But that's what makes it the healing experience, when we can stay with the feelings the child has and we can listen to those feelings. So I strongly encourage that. And I also just want to say too that, like, I think for many, many parents, we carry parent guilt, right? Like, there's all kinds of things that we didn't do good enough or didn't do well. And I think this can help a lot with that, because if we have a process and a practice in place that we face those things that we did that we didn't want to do, and we repair the relationship, and that we don't attach to ourselves that we're bad because we did that, is a huge, huge thing. And so one of the ways that I work on that, I strongly encourage this, because I'm not saying this lightly when I'm talking about, is to get listening partnership time, is to share time with another adult where you're taking turns listening to one another about what was hard. And so you can talk about the fact that you scared your child, for example, and how horrible it was to watch your child in fear as you got big and rageful, for example, or whatever the incident might have been. And then reminding yourself of what your own childhood was like with those things, and how, if that happened to you as a child, or what would your parents have done in that particular case. So there's lots to look at here, but this idea around repairing the relationship is such a beneficial family pattern to establish when your kids are young, but that you could start it at any time, so that your children know, like, it's a great way to teach your kids that we're all human and we make mistakes. And it's really important for us to recognize that we aren't perfect, and we're not going to get it right. We're not going to get parenting right. We're just going to keep screwing up, and that's okay. And so just being able to look at that, face it, feel it, get listening partnership time, repair the relationship if the relationship has been hurt. And that's a great thing for our kids to experience, so that they know, oh yeah, we don't have to be perfect, and we can still have a good relationship. And it's a great reminder to us too, that just because we made a mistake, we're not bad. Just because we made a mistake, we can still be good parents, and we can still be good people, because we still are a good person, even though we made a mistake. Because a lot of times in our culture, if we make a mistake, we attribute to ourselves that we're a bad person, and that's just not how it works. That's just not true. And we have to live in our truth too. So hopefully this is helpful. Keep on trying to practice repairing well with your kids and your family. If you like this, please let me know in the comments section. Pass it around. Let me know if you watch the replay. And thank you so much for showing up today. Bye.